I'm going to say something, and it's going to sound completely opposite of what people feel. Over the course of the last 10 years, 15 years, almost everybody who sits on a stage like this would tell you it is vital that your children learn computer science. Everybody should learn how to program. And in fact, it's almost exactly the opposite. It is our job to create computing technology such that nobody has to program and that the programming language is human. Everybody in the world is now a programmer. This is the miracle of artificial intelligence. The countries, the people that understand how to solve a domain problem in digital biology or in education of young people or in manufacturing or in farming, those people who understand domain expertise now can utilize technology that is readily available to you. You now have a computer that will do what you tell it to do. It is vital that we upskill everyone. And the upskilling process, I believe, will be delightful,
I'm
surprising.
not going to make this video too long. That's something I always say every time I start one of these videos. But I promise I'm not going to make this too long. Basically, I wanted to make this video to inform, and I wanted to make this video to remind you that I was right. Now, I told you a long time ago, I made videos on my channel, for those of you who even saw them, thanks to the YouTube algorithm. And I basically told you to bet on chips. I specifically told you Nvidia, AMD, Microsoft, Intel, so forth and so on. In fact, I told you about the index that I had, Mangoat, Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Google, oil stocks, Amazon, AMD, and Tesla. So I told you that a long time ago. And as you can see, Nvidia has been a runaway success. Like, it has basically exceeded all of my expectations. And as you can see right now, prior to Wednesday of tomorrow, they're going to be announcing their earnings, and it's pretty much expected already that they're going to beat the expectations. But when you consider the fact that these people are literally selling $2,000 video cards to people just so that they can play video games on a computer, it's obvious that Nvidia was going to beat expectations. And this is one of the reasons why I've always bet on them. My video cards, the 3090, the 2080 Ti, the 4090, it's like Nvidia is second to none when it comes to video cards. They're second to none. AMD is in the number 2 spot. And I believe the number 3 spot at this point when it comes to gaming graphics cards is actually Intel. But Intel really, Intel's like honeypot is really its integrated graphics, because Intel puts integrated graphics on its Pentium and its Xeon and all the new chips that they make, the Core i9s, the Core i7s, so forth and so on. So when it comes to integrated graphics, that's really where they are. When it comes to putting artificial intelligence in their future computers, they'll be trying to integrate everything, make it system on chip. They'll be putting the GPU, CPU, and AI technology, whether it's tensor cores or whatever it is, they'll be putting that system on chip so that you'll have a single chip that basically does everything. We're starting to get to the point where it's like Terminator movies, where you have a single CPU that's capable of doing just about everything. Like basically a supercomputer the size of your fingertip, basically. That's where we're approaching that. But long story short, Nvidia is going to tell us about their earnings. They've been selling out these video cards. As we approach video game releases such as, for example, Grand Theft Auto 6, they'll have a brand new video card out. It'll be the 5000 series RTX. They'll have the 5090, the 5080, the 5070, the 5060. By the time Grand Theft Auto comes out, people will be building new computers based on the most advanced graphic cards. These things are $2,000, $1,000. These things are expensive. But people, for whatever reason, have enough money and they feel that they can just drop that kind of money to play video games. So when it comes down to it, even me, I plan on building a brand new computer. I'm waiting for the Intel 15900K, and I want that 5090 graphics card, and I want 64 gigabytes of DDR5, which is actually relatively cheap now. I want a 1000 watt PSU at a minimum. And basically, I'm going to have a 4 terabyte SSD running it all right on the actual motherboard itself. I'm going to have one of those PCIe SSDs for my operating system, which will be Windows 11 or Windows 12. I'm not really sure what operating system will be out when I build the computer, but I'm waiting for the 5090 to come out before I do anything. So I want to get the graphics card in my hand first. So why am I saying all this? Well, Nvidia, they have just announced that they are about to do yet another stock split. Now, the last time I told you about the stock split, it was actually during the summer. I believe it was 2020 or 2021. It was one of those years, I can't remember. And anybody who bought into that stock split should absolutely be happy because it has only gone up from that point. So now they're announcing a 10-for-1 stock split, which basically means that for every share you have, you're going to get 10 shares. So I have 120 shares, and I'm going to multiply that times 10. So I'm going to have 1,200. And that's basically, it's simple math. So the reality is they're having a 10-for-1 stock split. Now, also keep in mind, Chipotle, the people who make that nasty ass salad, because I hate their salads. Now, that doesn't mean I don't like salad. When I get salad, I like to go to Halal Guys. Halal Guys makes a very good salad where you could have half chicken, you could have beef, or you could just have all chicken, or you could have all beef, or you can even get lamb. Although I wish Halal Guys always had lamb because the lamb is actually the best thing they got. And this is what happens when you take a Middle Eastern restaurant and you have it run by white people. All of a sudden now, lamb turns into chicken or beef. It's like, wait a minute, this is halal food. This is supposed to be lamb and rice. It's not supposed to be, specific. It's not supposed to be beef. It's supposed to be lamb, but whatever. So bottom line, Chipotle has that nasty ass salad. I hate their food. I do like their fountain drinks. They have those 4 fountain drinks. They have like the lemonade, and they have the watermelon limeade, then they have that orange drink, and then they have that strawberry something or rather. I love their drinks. So usually I'll go to Halal Guys, get a salad, and I'll walk over to Chipotle. I'll sit down and I'll order one of their drink cups, and I'll just, eat my salad there. But their salad tastes terrible. I don't like their meat either. I think their stuff tastes like shit. Honestly, Chipotle, it's disgusting. I've tried it a couple of times. I had one of their burritos. It's absolutely disgusting. Come June 29th, Chipotle is doing a 50-to-1 stock split. So I'm already ready for their stock split. I've got my position for Chipotle, and I'm going to put some extra money into that. I'm going to dollar cost average on that. But for people who missed out on Nvidia, they're about to do this 10-for-1. So that means that if you missed out the first time around, this might be a great chance for you to buy in. Now, chances are you're going to be like, oh, gee, should I really buy in? Once it's split, should I buy in? Well, I'm going to tell you just like this. You have an option of buying in right now. It's not exactly $1,000 yet, but at $1,000 per share, even if you buy one share, you're going to get 10 shares for that one share. So your $1,000 will not be lost. What's going to happen and what continues to happen with each one of these stock splits, if you've been paying attention, you'll notice every time a stock split is announced, a large number of people who want to invest in that stock come in. When that happens, it pushes the price of the share up. Now, normally a stock split just means that the stock itself is divided and it's split, but it doesn't lose or gain value. However, in modern times, because these stock splits are done with the media announcing them, just like I am right now, what ends up happening is more and more people want to put their money in. So when people want to put their money in, that causes the share price to increase. Now, let me tell you something, and you can hold me to this because I swore on this before. You can watch my video. If you watch my video, Bet on Chips, you'll see that I was 100% right. What was it, like 2 or 3 years ago? And back during, like, when I told you to buy oil shares and I told you to buy oil, if you'd bought it then, you would have had dividend paying stocks up the ass right now. But the bottom line is, Nvidia, again, is second to none. Forget the AI tech, but understand the video cards and the video gaming that Nvidia is involved in. They are second to none. Their stock is going to keep rising. There's nothing stopping. The only thing that could stop Nvidia from rising at this point is if China said, "Yeah, let's blow them up," and China just started firing like rockets and shit at Nvidia headquarters in Taiwan. It's not going to happen. I mean, I can't say that it can't happen, but it could, but it won't. And, granted, if they had total destruction, yeah, that would pretty much stop the stock. Like, let's say an asteroid came from space and hit them. Yeah, that would do it too. That would pretty much wipe them out. But the bottom line is, barring that from happening, if you put your money into Nvidia, I guarantee you 1 year from now, you'll be happy you did. And that's just the simple fact. Chipotle, when they announced that they were going to do their split, for example, their 50-1 split, their share price for the post-split number would have been about $60. Since they announced, it has basically gone up to $65 per share. So 65 times 50, you get what I'm saying. Now, I don't know how much longer they can grow, but one thing I can say about Nvidia is Nvidia, because they deal in video gaming and computer technology and whatever, and they also deal with automotive display port adapters and such, they are going to continue to grow very well. So I trust them with my money. There was a couple other stock split recently. I bought the Walmart stock split. There was another one. I can't remember off the top of my head what it was. It'll come back to me. But the thing about it is, if you didn't get in on Nvidia before because you were too busy gambling on whatever it was, crystal meth shares or whatever it was, I don't know. If you didn't get in on it before, this is your chance. Now, granted, it's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you what? It's going to cost you about $100 per share. So you're going to pay more than I paid. That's the bottom line. But the thing about it is, a year from now, when the value continues to go up, or even 2 years from now, when the value continues to go up, I'm pretty sure that you'll appreciate having done it. So what it says real quick, it says Nvidia shares hit a record on Tuesday, closing at $953.86. Before slipping Wednesday, based on the aftermarket move, the shares are poised to reach a fresh high on Thursday. Earnings per share, $6.12 adjusted versus $5.59 adjusted per LSEG consensus estimates. Revenue, $26.04 billion versus $24.65 billion expected by LSEG. Nvidia said it expected sales of $28 billion in the current quarter. Wall Street was expecting earnings per share of $5.95 on sales of $26.61 billion. Nvidia reported net income for the quarter of $14.88 billion or $5.98 per share, compared with $2.0 billion or 82 cents in the year-ago period. In the past year, Nvidia sales have skyrocketed as companies such as Google, Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, and OpenAI buy billions of dollars of Nvidia GPUs. And that's what it really comes down to. It comes down to the fact that Nvidia's GPUs are second to none. I originally criticized Nvidia because I felt that what gamers wanted was they just wanted GPUs that could produce faster frames per second. They basically just wanted GPUs that could just put more frames on the screen. What Nvidia did was they went and pioneered a whole new segment called RTX, or ray tracing, which is basically artificial intelligence being used in order to create more complex shadows, more complex lighting, and more complex transparencies in video games. And then they went behind themselves and they did this new one called DLSS, which basically means that they can increase frame rates by using artificial intelligence to generate frames. Then they also went to the sound chips and they said, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to make an artificial intelligence that cleans up the sound as it's processed, right? So it eliminates noise from the stereo output. So, all in all, Nvidia is a pioneer when it comes to AI, specifically when it comes to AI and consumer electronics. And they're doing pretty well. So, that's basically all I have to say because I don't really have to rant on this. But they have a 10-for-1 stock split coming up. So, you have a choice. You can either buy it immediately and you can probably get in before the value goes up, because I can guarantee you, after they announce their earnings and they beat expectations, they are going to rise. So the question is, are you going to be in or are you going to be out?